Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ComplexlySpant channel, your favorite one-man podcast that is the ramblings of a 19-year-old in college who also likes to make content on a different channel, but this is the second channel, so here we are. Today we'll be talking about why I like being weird and why that's made me happy and such. And I guess ways that I express myself that are quote-unquote weird and like why I enjoy doing it. So I guess to start off by kind of what I mean by that. So for example, let's take, my wardrobe. My wardrobe currently consists of a lot of like either G2 esports jerseys, as you've probably seen on my main channel videos, or currently I'm wearing a, really weird band shirt for my favorite band, AJR. I have a different video kind of talking about why I like them and such. And I generally like have I guess I try to avoid wearing shirts that are like a classic Vans shirt or like a Adidas shirt or something like that, which I still do wear from time to time. And I'm not like anything crazy with my wardrobe. I look like I walked out of a Tilly's because that's where I get my clothes and such. But I think something that I've really enjoyed is that I like wearing shirts, or at least I've found that I like wearing shirts that are conversation starters or just are representative of my interests. I know a lot of people like to dress like style first, and that's like their thing, and that's great. For me myself, I know I have a few interests and I'm very into them. So I am more than happy to just be like, hey, I'm wearing my G2 esports jersey, and people will ask like, oh, what sports team's that from? And it allows me to like talk about an interest because I like talking about my interests like most people do. And I also just like wearing things that I feel happy wearing. It makes me happy to have a kind of outward expression of my interests, and I just choose to do that through shirts, for example. And kind of other ways that I express myself a little, I guess, quote unquote, abnormally, is I like to like dance to music when I go on walks and stuff. Nothing crazy, but like, I'm jamming a little bit. And I mean, there's nothing like wrong with that or anything. It's just not a norm. I'm very much like, I very much operate under a realist mindset where I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing, so I'm going to do it. Because it makes me happy. It allows me to kind of feel the music, allows me to just have a good time and vibe. And I know some people have like commented on it before or whatever, like passing comments. I have noise-proof headphones on, but I can still hear it sometimes, where people are like, oh, that's kind of weird or whatever. But like, they move on with their day, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm happy. Which I think is something that I really adopted in the last, like, I'd say like year and a half, 2 years or so, where I'm just going to decide I'm just going to commit to doing my own thing. And if people like it, chill. And if people don't like it, I mean, I'm being honest with who I am. And if they don't like who I am, then I mean, I probably wouldn't hang out with them. I think a very similar thing for me is, or another way I kind of do this kind of thought process at least, is, and Grant's getting a little personal here. Whoa. Sorry, Grant's my real name, not Spant. Hate to break the wall like that. And it's something that's similar to like my quote unquote dating life. I don't really have a dating life, but it's fine. And I've like been on a couple of dates before or whatever. But like, as for myself, I don't operate under the mindset of I need to like be super cool to like impress a girl or whatever. Like, I'm just going to do myself. And that way if people like me for me, I don't have a facade I'm hiding behind. I'm not trying to be like a cool person or anything like that. If it comes off that way, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking when you're seeing a guy walk around in a Nasus shirt with the little Nasus dog emote or whatever, the much Nasus very wow one I got for free at Worlds. But I just have found like, and it is kind of a hard thing sometimes to be, I guess, kind of counterculture, quote unquote, when it comes to like expressing yourself and just being weird and quirky and wearing weird shirts and all this stuff, or listening to weird music, and just being upfront about that, because it definitely doesn't fit in a lot of the time. But what I've found is that over time, the people who like me or like being friends with me and such, they like that part of me because it's very real and it's very like upfront, and it's just who I am. And I'm not trying to fake or be anyone else like that. So I feel like there is definitely an issue where a lot of people are trying to, I mean, especially since I'm in college and just came out of high school, which demographically is around where my audience would be, that I'm speaking to right now. A lot of people are trying to fit in, but I would encourage you to just do things that are weird and do things that are like, if it makes you happy and it's obviously not hurting anyone else, of course, just do that. Like I know it's very cliche advice, but it's very real advice. And I enjoy wearing my Schlatt & Co. shirt. I enjoy wearing, my AJR shirts, and I enjoy jamming to music and sing along with my songs in like the lunchroom when they're playing or anything like that. Not like super out loud disruptively, of course, but like just kind of jamming along, all that and such. And I'm like happy to talk about like, yeah, I do content creation. And that's like sick. It's something I'm interested in. And a lot of times I've found that when you are genuinely interested in something, people also are interested too. And if they're not, if they're just like kind of looking to talk about themselves, then, maybe there's probably a different person you'd want to talk to. But, yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that today. How I kind of operate under a philosophy of like, even though it's like breaking a social norm, so to speak, it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that allows me to express myself, and I feel good doing it. And it's up to you how you want to express yourself, obviously. Just don't hurt anyone doing it, of course. That's pretty good advice in general. I don't really got anything else to add to that, but have a great rest of your day or night. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.